All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and our next guest is the one and only Nigel Fullerton. He's an actor, a comedian, good friend of the show. Nigel, welcome, man. How you been, bro?
Hey, man, how you doing? I'm good to be here. Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, I think this is the first time you've been on the quarantine specials. You've been on the game show a number of times, but I think it's the first time we've actually had you on live on this show.
Yeah, I've been a judge, I've been a guest roaster, and now you're going to ask me a whole bunch of ridiculous questions I have nothing about.
I don't know if we're gonna like get to too much ridiculous stuff, but what have you been doing with the quarantine, man? I mean, it's been a long run. Now we're like in phase 4. Are you feeling like just running back into the real world again, or like
No, why?
How are you handling it? Yeah, how are
Why
you
would you
handling
want to
it?
run back to the old world? I think coronavirus has turned us all into germaphobes. Remember when we used to make fun of germaphobes, and now it's like, hey, don't touch that doorknob, you might die.
Germaphones definitely had their redemption with all of this. The I told you so moments for sure.
The Chinese people had I told you so moments. Think about all those times that you used to see those Chinese people with the mask on, and you said, "Oh, they're goofy. Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Somebody stinks."
Exactly, man.
You know.
Yeah, I remember even when I went to Korea, I had the opportunity to go to South Korea, and I remember walking around seeing everybody with the masks on, and I was just like, wow, these people are like, what's wrong with them?
You think they have a disease?
Yeah, it's
listen,
them.
I was there too. That was me when SARS came out.
Right.
Exactly. These people are now trendsetters. They're innovators. Like, we should be looking toward them. They should be ruling our country right now.
So now I assume you wear a mask everywhere. Do you have a fancy mask? Did you go out and buy like something fancy?
I have several fancy masks. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's the one thing I collect. I have an Adidas mask.
Nice.
I have a mask that says "cute guy with a beard." I'm just like, this is new fashion now. We're all gonna look like we're on Mortal Kombat.
I had a boring one for a while. I just bought a new one, but I don't know how safe it is, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like it's like and what is it? What's the good ones called?
It looks like Elvis and Jailhouse Rock. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I bought this one.
That doesn't even cover your whole face.
You put it like over your head. I'll do it real quick.
Okay.
And then so it's
oh my God, that is the worst thing ever.
I know. I was a little disappointed when I got it. It looked better on Amazon. Then I got
better on everyone else but you. What are you doing?
And now, but the thing is, I don't know how much this was actually protect me. I don't know if the quality.
I don't think that's N95 compatible.
Yes, it's definitely not. I think it's very thin. You can't really tell, but the quality is very thin. You could almost like see holes in there.
Oh my God, this is what you do with your stimulus payment, huh? That's what you do. I got it. Listen, it's better than that fur coat you were wearing in the summertime. What was that?
Yeah, that's my alter ego, man. I have a variety of alter egos, and that was one of my guys.
Dude, it looked like the bath mat of a sorority bathroom. Like, it was really bad.
That's what happens when you get bored in the house and you're in the house bored.
Bored in the motherfucker in the house bored, and I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored.
Oh my God. I'm actually, you rapping. I was telling somebody the other day that, like, I really want to see a white Wu-Tang Clan. Like, I just want to see how that's gonna, like, work. Like, we get Vanilla Ice and Marky Mark together, and they do like a super group.
That could be something.
They find Snow. They get all the '90s rappers together, and they just can't call themselves a clan. That's all.
Right? Yeah, definitely not. They definitely cannot be the White Wu-Tang Clan. They would, but if they would call themselves the White Wu.
No, that wouldn't work.
That might be something. It's the White Wu. I think I would be, if I was in a White Wu, I would be the Method. I would be their Method Man. That's right.
A worser name would be call it Crackers. Like,
and it's me, Marky Mark, Vanilla Ice,
Snow.
Yeah, we got a whole crew going now. And then who else? Eminem wouldn't join us.
Eminem definitely wouldn't join you guys.
He wouldn't join us. He would not.
You guys are way too white for him. You got to wear like a Jordan sweatsuit to really understand what he's doing.
But
are we boring everybody with all this white rapper talk? Like, is this the content that we want to put up, shut up, stand up?
Word to your mother.
I do see, we're in these tough times. I see the poster behind you. Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And Do the Right Thing.
Doctor.
Come on, what?
Always do the right thing.
Phenomenal movie. I love that movie. And here we are all these years later. That movie's got to be close to 30 years old, I'd say.
The movie's 30 years old, yeah. They just had 1989, another summer.
Yeah. And here we are. Nothing's changed.
You expected it to change?
I did. You know what? Like when you do, like, take back to 89. When that movie
89. Okay.
Now, that movie made a huge impact. And then in that time period, there was a lot of those movies coming out, right? So you had Do the Right Thing came out. Then you had the Boys in the Hood.
Who is it that's dying out here on these streets every night? Y'all.
Yeah.
Young brothers like yourselves.
What am I supposed to do? Fool roll up, try to smoke me? I'm gonna shoot the motherfucker if he don't kill me first.
You're doing exactly what they want you to do. You have to think, young brother, about your future.
All those kind of movies came out around the same time period, early 90s. Right. And they started to bring awareness to race issues. And they started to, I think...
I got you, but you're missing one point. You think that racists watch black movies. The only black movies that racists watch are Medea's.
That's it. I'm calling the police.
I ain't scared no popo. Call the popo, ho. Call the popo, ho.
So racists
they find her hilarious.
Really? So they're huge Tyler Perry fans.
Hey man, she linked up with Larry the Cable Guy, and good clean Negro for them,
But I was hoping, man, like I felt like there's been times throughout my lifetime anyway, that there has been hope, to get past all of this. And but it just seems that every time we take 2 steps forward, we take leaps backwards, and here we are all over again, man. It's kind of sad,
I mean, it's always been there. If you look at, like, let's say all the marching and stuff that's been going on, right? And then you look at the counter protesting that's been going on. If you really analyze it and look at it, this is the same argument that they had in the 60s. And it's more comes from fear. And I've been saying this to everybody. It's a fear. Because basically everybody's like, I don't want them to mess up my yard. I don't want them to mess up my neighborhood. And it's not really that. They're really just trying to get awareness and, like, get you to listen to them. And instead of listening, you just want to be like, oh no, you guys are looters and vandalizers. And it's bad rhetoric. If you just listen to us and say, hey, you guys matter. We're not saying we're better. We just want you to know that we matter. And we want you to just say, hey, if we really are trying to be united, back us up.
Right. Yeah.
That's all.
I would think, and I said this a couple weeks ago on another episode. I was talking to Sheila Smiley, great comedian, but I said the same thing, and I'll ask you this too. Like, I think most rational-minded people, the majority of human beings in America, right, would agree that Black Lives Matter, that we're all equal, right, and I think that that there's been some degree of, like, a hijack of Antifa or whatever has come in.
Who is that?
It's a group that's funded by, like,
what's really
Soros.
Funny? You know what's really funny? No black person knows who Antifa is.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody understands what they like. I only hear Antifa from, like, white people on Facebook and Fox News.
Antifa.
It's not a no.
It's a conspiracy theory all the time. I don't understand. Like, why is
I
it
think
so...
there's something. I think there's something to it, whether they're called Antifa or what they're called. But I think that they've taken the
Just because they give it a black name doesn't mean that they're black.
right. Exactly. No.
It's like Aunt Jemima. I've been black all my life. I've never met a woman named Jemima.
Yeah. But I just think that, you know, do you think that sometimes the message is getting muffled underneath the chaos?
I mean, yes. What happens is, like, a lot of times there's so many different voices and so many different people saying things and so many, like, you know, you just really have to get like the basic message. They just want you to say, hey, we matter. We're not saying that we're better. We're not saying you're worse. Like I was telling people the other day, you can like be pro Black Lives Matter and pro police. Like you can be two things at once. You can't just like, it's not something that's like, we want the police to do the right thing.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
You know, we need that. Like, you know, but we don't want to, while they're in doing their job, we don't want to die. You know what I mean? Like my father's a cop. So I understand that completely. I understand from both sides where I see it as like, again, it's a fear. They fear not being able to go home to their wife or their children. And this black person fears that not being able to go to their wife, their children, or whoever, their family.
Right.
And that's really what it is. When it boils down to it, it's that fear. And we just need to eradicate that. This is too heavy for your show, sir.
Well,
this is way too heavy for your show.
No, but it's good to address it. So, like, because to me,
I gotta
like,
be the black expert for every Ghost radio show.
Well, the one last thing I want to ask you about this was your dad being a cop and all that. Did he ever give you advice on how to deal with police if you ever pulled over or any of that kind of stuff?
I mean, not really. My dad joined. He joined late in life. So like he was almost 40 when he got in. He was like late 30s. You know, he worked like he always had like a city job. He always was, you know, part of that. But what happened was when I started driving, he would give me you know, those PBA cards and stuff like that, just to say, hey, you know, if you ever get pulled over, this is what you need. But I never really got that talk. But I didn't really need it because it's a thing that I'm aware of already. Because it happens to all of my friends. It happens to everybody I know. It's like, you know, you get pulled over for anything because you look suspicious. It's like if I go into a store, right? If I go into a store, you and I go into a store, right? You go one way, I go the other way.
Right.
It's 75% chance that they're going to be looking at me more than they're going to be looking at you because they believe that, oh, in their mind, black people steal, or, oh, he looks suspicious, or, oh, I'm going to, and it could be further from the truth. To be honest with you, I worked in retail. The most people that stole were you know, old white ladies. Like, you know, they like it was like a whole team of Winona riders one day, and they were just, you know, putting stuff in their bag. But that's not to say that you know, crime is mutually exclusive. Like I Googled the statistics. Like I looked it up one day and I was like, you know, they keep talking about black on black crime. Let me find out what the statistics are for black on black crime. So I went and Googled. I went to the FBI. It was a government website, and it wasn't updated. Like the last time they updated was probably 2016. So, you know, take this with a grain of salt. But when I looked at white on white crime versus black on black crime or crime against any other race, to be honest, the white on white crime was higher than the black on black crime. And we're not saying murders, we're just saying crime.
Right, just crime.
So like, and what that means is if you live in a town with all white people, or if you live in a town with all black people, 9 times out of 10, the crime that's going to happen is somebody that's the same race as you. It's not going to be like somebody that's a different race. So it's like you can go and say black on black crime, or how come you guys don't do this when you kill your others? But like since 2016, we've had how many multiple mass shootings?
Right. Yeah.
And where are the All Lives Matter people for that?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Where are the Blue Lives Matter when a cop gets shot? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's always like, you know, it's all, and I'm spitting facts. I'm sorry.
No,
But
that's
it's
good.
always a result. It's always a result of when somebody says Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And it's funny to me, and I had this thought today, and this is probably the last time I'll talk about this, but I had this thought today, and we were talking about rap. There's a rapper named T.I., right?
Yep.
T.I. came on the scene. He was new, and you know what he said he was? He said he was the king of the South.
Yep.
Why? Because nobody else said they were the king of the South. People challenged him, but till today, he's still 20 years later the king of the South. Why? Because he said so.
Hey, I'm the king below the Mason-Dixon line, king of the South. I speak for all of the Southern people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with like saying that this is like, you know, things change. And I say that all to say this, like things change. You can be a free thinker. You don't have to think one dimensionally. You don't have to say, oh, this is this and that's that. It's, you have a right to think what you want to think, but we all have to be able to be okay with each other, and we all have to navigate, you know, the same thing that you say to me. I can't, you know, our relationship has to be cool. We can't just like, I'm just going to say this to this guy because he's, you know, because it's a word and I can say this word, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like people want to say the N word, and like, it's like, it's just a bad way all around. I don't even want to get into all that because I feel like this is too deep for your show. This is supposed to be a stand-up show. We're talking politics and race and stuff like that. They don't want to hear this from me. They want to hear jokes.
Well, how can you spin everything we talked about? How do you spin that into comedy?
Oh, I lost 50 pounds recently. And I basically did that from marching for Black Lives Matter. Every time something racist happens, I lose an extra 5 pounds.
There you go.
By the end of this year, I'll probably be Flavor Flav. You never know. But no, I mean, like you have to find a way to cope with this. You have to find a way to, you know, be okay with the situation, because there's going to be bad times all the time, but you have to be able to find laughter out of a tough situation, because if you don't, you'll go crazy. Yeah, you know, man. Just because I make fun of it doesn't mean that I don't believe in this stuff. Like I believe in protest. I believe that, you know, I believe everybody should have equal rights. Like nobody's saying that one side is better than the other. We just want to be equal. We just want to be fair. And I think that's the message that nobody really puts out, that we just want it fair.
Right.
You know?
And rightfully so, man. Rightfully so.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
But we'll switch gears a little bit. We'll talk about, I know you have.
Away from all this heavy stuff. You're gonna have people picking in governor's radio station. No, don't put that black guy on no more. You know, like
that's great.
You know, especially now that they got a big old plexiglass around the place. You know, it looks like a museum.
Have you been in there yet? Have you performed
I've seen
it?
the pictures. I haven't been in yet. I will be going in there soon. I haven't been in there yet, but every time I see it, I just go, I don't know how comedians can perform like that, and I want to know how much spit is on that plexiglass.
They got to be somebody to wipe that down constantly.
It's got to be like the spit of Joey Cola or Chris Roach. Like, it's something nasty on there, man. And I wouldn't want to see that. Like, you know,
they have to have the kid who cleans up the basketball court, you know, have one of those
or
guys.
they can have Mario Bosco. Mario Bosco could come in with a squeegee. He could be the Sandman for like governor's.
The Sandman.
You know, he already has a bow tie. He might as well. He could tap dance. You know, he looks like a marionette. You know, might as well, right?
I think you got something going there. I think they should do that no matter what. Have Mario.
You're gonna get me banned from governors for making fun of.
I'm a real boy.
Well, now it's that time, Nigel Fullerton.
Okay. All
It is
right.
time, because you are an actor,
Yes.
and I only play one on TV.
Okay.
It is time for Zoom Theater. Are you ready for Zoom Theater?
I'm ready for Zoom Theater. I'm kind of like, I was waiting for you to get something. You had to get the first buddy cop movie I think this is the first interracial buddy cop movie ever.
It is, and that's why I'm going to get in some kind of character here.
You look like Dom DeLuise in a Italian movie. It's Dom DeLuise as the Godfather.
I do. That's the sad thing is I do. All right. So this is my character. So we're gonna do this thing. Let me get my script handy. You got your stuff all handy?
Yeah, man. I'm here, man. Reggie Hammond. That's right.
All right. Are you ready? So here we go.
Can we tell people what this is from first before we do it, or we're just gonna?
This is sure. You want to go ahead and introduce the scene, or I can?
All right. Yeah. Well, this is a scene from one of my favorite movies. 48 Hours, starring, you're going to be the role of Nick Nolte, and I'm going to be Eddie Murphy. I just didn't want people to hear me do a voice and just look at me like I'm nuts. Like, hey, why is he talking with that? Like, was he on a set of Good Times? Like, why is he?
Good Times.
You know?
All right. Are you ready? So I'm
ready.
I'm getting into character now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we go with the scene from 48 Hours. Here we go. Let's start it up. This prison gives out $400 suits.
Hey, what are you talking about? This suit's mine. It costs $900.
We're supposed to be after a killer, not a string of hookers.
Listen, it may be out of date. You know, I got a reputation for looking real sharp with the ladies. We could change this for something good. You know, get you looking sharp for some pussy.
I don't need to hear your jive. I already got a department to take care of.
You got a girl? Shit, the generosity of women never ceases to amaze me. Hey, no way. Take the bracelets off. No deal, man.
You just don't get it, do you, Reggie? There isn't any deal. I own your ass.
There's no way to start a partnership.
Get this. We ain't partners, we ain't brothers, and we ain't friends. I'm putting you down and keeping you down until Gans is locked up or dead. And if
Shit,
Gans...
I'm already sorry, man. Sorry.
Hold on,
I'm sorry. I got into it, man. I was about to hit you with a trash can because you said that. I was really in the moment.
Here you go.
This is Reggie Hammond.
I'll pick it up from
all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just go into say that no way to start a partnership.
This is no way to start a partnership.
Get this. We ain't partners, we ain't brothers, and we ain't friends. And I'm putting you down and keeping you down until Gans is locked up or dead. And if Gans gets away, you're gonna be sorry you ever met me.
Shit, I'm already sorry, man.
And scene. Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad we put that one and not the one where he calls me a jive N-word. Because that would be real awkward after we just had that whole talk about Black Lives Matter and then all of a sudden this happens.
I tell you, I was going through the scenes because I wanted to see which ones, you know, that would be good for me and you, because I love 48 Hours, and I thought it would be fun to do that with you. And then I'm looking at some of the scenes, and I'm like, wow, times have kind of changed in the years of what, you know, like.
Look at you. You got a $500 suit on. You're still a lowlife.
Yeah, but I look good.
I have this movie on DVD. Like, I know the movie inside and out.
It's a great movie.
There's a new chef in town. His name's Reggie Hammond. Y'all be cool. Right on.
Y'all be cool now.
Yeah, and that was Eddie Murphy's first movie. You know,
man.
So.
We ain't brothers, we ain't partners, and we ain't friends. Now, if Gans gets away with my money, you're going to be sorry you ever met me.
I'm already sorry.
Great job on Zoom Theater, Nigel Fullerton.
Even though, like, you got me real riled up. Like, I was really about to fight you. I'm even still speaking like Eddie Murphy. In the morning, I'm probably gonna make some waffles. Come on, Shrek. Great. Come on, Shrek. Yeah, we're gonna sit up and tell some manly stories.
That could be our next scene. We could do another time.
We did that.
We could do a scene from Shrek. I'll be Shrek. That's next one. We'll do another one.
You had to take the movie where they're talking about watermelons and spear chuckers. We're gonna do Shrek, man. It's family friendly.
Yeah,
no one's mad at a green ogre and a donkey.
We'll definitely do Shrek next. That's a great idea.
Definitely.
And feel free to use this on your reel.
I definitely will.
Yeah, my
definitely
permission to use it. Yeah,
I'm going to put this on my Instagram as soon as possible. Me making fun of Shrek.
Well, Nigel, what do you got coming up, man? So everyone who's watching this can check you out and see you in the flesh.
Well, definitely. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nigel Fullerton _. I also have a show on Facebook. It's a Facebook Live show called The Jump Cut, where we review movies every week. Every week, they still put out movies, surprising enough, on Netflix and video on demand and a whole bunch of other things. So definitely, if you guys want to check it out, it's The Jump Cut on Facebook. So.
Well, Nigel, I appreciate you. Check him out, everybody, on The Jump Cut. It's a really good podcast. He breaks it down, him and his partner. What's your partner's name on that show?
Steve May. And we don't talk about race or politics on the show.
It's just
so like, whatever you saw from here definitely doesn't happen.
Well, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you soon. Nigel Fullerton, everybody.
Hey, Tony Walker here. GovsRadio.com, lots of great shows here. Put Up, Stand Up, or Shut Up with Don Sill, Malcolm Did Comedy Radio Show, Three's Company. Oh, so many great shows here at GovsRadio.com. Keep it locked there.